Hey, welcome on in. It is Jordan with the Bet Locker here to bring you an NBA props video for Tuesday, November 4th. I am back after a couple days hiatus, still feeling it. I guess I'm only a week in this sickness, but it's kicking my ass. I'm not going to lie. So, took a couple days off, won some NBA props over the weekend. So, that was fun just to be wiped out by some of NFL props of spots that I thought were amazing. And sometimes when you are just so locked in on, I think this is going to hit no matter what, sometimes those are the ones that crush you. But we hit we technically hit Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, skipped Friday, and then we hit two on Saturday. So we hit a lot of NBA last week. So, and then NFL was semi good. DFS was really good, but besides that, I mean, obviously you're here for NBA props. So let's dive in. Just saying that we have taken a couple days off, feeling a little bit better, able to do this video again, and going to have videos all week, the rest of the week, because I am on the mend. So thanks for joining me. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It does help a lot, and it does buy yourself some good karma. So I was looking this morning, like always, maybe I'm a crazy guy, but I love just studying and looking at sports. It's what keeps me sane and or insane, whichever. But um looking all this morning, and there's a lot of spots that, when I do preach and say look for unders more than overs, I did finally spot some unders that I liked, which we're also cashing some of the tickets over the weekends for NBA. So first one I want to look at was Atlanta versus Orlando. Right away, Orlando's picking up defensively like they should be, and they're historically, or last couple seasons, have been one of the best defensive teams in the league. I know they started out slow. They started out with not really great defense and not getting wins, but now they're starting to pick up and they're starting to show that their defense is elite, especially when Jalen Suggs is back too. So I wanted to see what was a spot that I could exploit there, and I think it is, so Jalen Johnson's they're running a promo on pick six right now for over 17 and a half points. So right there, they're like, hey, here's a free pick in this game. He only needs to get to 17 and a half. Well, his usage does go up when Trae Young's not in there. Ironically, though, Trae Young isn't there to assist him as much. And the last time that he faced Orlando, which they've already faced Orlando this season, second game in the regular season, he got held to only 12 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. So he only played 25 minutes. They're easing him back in, and now he is playing more minutes in the season. But like I said, there's no Trae Young to really get his assists to him to score. So, but you can't take less than there. You look at his points, it's 20 and a half for his regular points, wherever those went. Oh, let me select that game. Where is it? Here we go. It's 20 and a half for the regular points. Now, he does take most of the shots for Atlanta when Trae Young is out. I mean, Trae Young doesn't take most of the shots anyways, but with guys like Dyson Daniels and Zachary Risache, I mean, they don't really take as much shots at all as Jalen Johnson. It's pretty much his team. Kristaps Porzingis, and then Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Those are the three guys that are taking all the shots. Now, but the defensive matchup against Paulo Banchero and then Goga Batazzi if he gets in for center, but Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner, like all of them are pretty. I'm not. They're pretty elite defensively. And last time he faced these guys, he didn't do anything. So there was a spot that I wanted to exploit of what under can I take? Well, he can sneeze into 20 and a half because he takes 30 shots. Sometimes that's just going to happen. PRA, he can sneak into a few more rebounds. He can pass the ball off more. Maybe his outside perimeter guys hit some threes. He gets some assists there. I think I like fantasy points. The reason being is he's only hit this twice the last two games against a decimated Pacers team, and then against a Cavs team, which was a competitive matchup, but it's against Larry Nance, and there was no Jared Allen at the rim to protect that. So he fell into more rebounds, fell into more points at the rim, so he's not going to see that same matchup here. So against Paulo Banchero, against Franz, against Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter isn't as good as those other guys, but and then if he gets secondary run at the rim, it's Goga at the rim too, off the bench. So I like to take and my point being is he's not really going to get any blocks or steals off of Paulo or Franz or any of those guys either. Maybe Wendell Carter, but not against Paulo and Franz. So I like taking his less than fantasy points there. That's a spot that I like to exploit. Now, if you're going to take anything Orlando, I would take overs because Atlanta that's a pace up spot for Orlando. The hard part with that is who's going to eat. Is it going to be Paulo? Is it going to be Franz? Is it going to be Desmond Bain? You never know on any given night. Most of the time now, it's been really concentrated towards Paulo and Franz, but then Desmond can go off. So, but I do lean overs if you're going to take anything from Orlando, and I lean unders anything from Atlanta. Besides Kristaps, he might get some good points tonight. So, now another spot I want to exploit is Toronto versus Milwaukee. Looks to be a competitive matchup. Toronto is actually the favorite in this game. There is so quickly. So there's just a lot of mouths to feed on this team all of a sudden with bringing Brandon Ingram in. Because, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, and then welcome back probably Jakob Poeltl. I think he's only questionable, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be upgraded to probable from what I heard. So he's coming back in for the center position. And then quickly just kind of lost in the starting role. I know that sounds weird, but like Scotty Barnes brings up the ball and he steals away all of the assists. Him, Brandon Ingram, and RJ Barrett take all the shots now. So like Emmanuel Quickley is like very like three dependent, or like these guys aren't getting great looks on the like inside the perimeter, and so like maybe they're passing out to him. So I like to take his less than PRA because I believe Giannis is there, Miles Turner is there for rebounding, and then if they're not rebounding and offensive or defensive on these guys are all way taller than Emmanuel Quickley, so then they still have the rebounds too away from Emmanuel Quickley, and then Scotty Barnes takes away all of the assists. So this number, I believe, is very point like dependent. So he has to score like over 20 points tonight to get that. And his point prop doesn't suggest that. It's only 16 and a half. And then, like I said, these guys steal all the usage. Plus, enter Jakob Poeltl back. He's going to steal away some usage too. If it was a backup center, then not. So I like the less than for him there as well. And then the last one is very risky. I swore off this guy. I took him opening night because I did not know he was on a minutes restriction. And I haven't taken him since because finding out about that minutes restriction. Now he is vamping up a little bit more and they're trying to vamp him up just a bit more. And against the Chicago team is the perfect spot to get a couple extra minutes, 24, 27 minutes for him. And against a at the rim team that gives up almost 65% or 67ish% of points at the rim. It's like they're the worst rim defending team in Chicago. So if he actually plays big man minutes and if he gets 28 minutes, I like Joel Embiid here somehow. I think my favorite way to get there is going to be fantasy score 36 and a half. Like I said, this is a risky play, but let me tell you, he has been. So like last game against the Nets, it's the Nets. It's one of the worst. They don't have a win yet this season. He didn't end up playing last game, but didn't need to. Against the Celtics, competitive matchup, obviously. He played 25 minutes and he got 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. So not anything crazy there. Against Washington, which is no one again, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists in only 23 minutes and 1 block. Now, that's against a Washington team. But This is supposed to be a competitive matchup. The spread is only -1.5. And if they're the worst defending team of the rim and he's getting fouled a lot more, he is making a lot more shots. He could get a couple blocks, maybe a steal or two. I think it's gross, but I think he could get this number pretty easily, even in 24 to 27 minutes. So I would like to take more than there. Now that one's scary. I know that's going to be scary for a lot of people. So there was other spots that I would suggest. Like I said, taking overs in Orlando, but you have to decide on who. In Charlotte and the Pelicans, Zion Williamson's questionable. Miles Bridges takes a lot of points or a lot of shots at least. I know that LaMelo Ball is also questionable, but I think he's probable now. So I think he's probably going to play. So if those both those guys are playing, somehow, some way, Colin Sexton, when he's starting, gets lost in that too. He's kind of like the Emmanuel Quickly. He kind of gets lost and he's very scoring dependent. And then LaMelo and Miles takes away everything, and also now including Colin Knippel. So it's like he kind of gets lost, but I don't know what under to take for him, whether it be points, whether it be PRA. I don't know. Jeremiah Fears looks really good in a very high up pace game against Charlotte and a very bad defensive game against Charlotte. And that's another thing too, is like Jeremiah Fears and Jordan Poole aren't going to be able to stop Sexton or LaMelo. So it is a risky under to take. It could be an easy over to take. Jeremiah Fears gets a lot of usage now when he's starting. I like to take his overs against a high upside and bad defensive and high pace game against Charlotte. So that's another spot you could take and exploit. I didn't really look at anything in the late games. I kind of like everything in the early games first, and then you can maybe just throw in a small one if you happen to hit in the early games for these late games. Maybe Chet Holmgren's back. Maybe rebounds for him is what I was looking at, which is really nice because he does get a lot of rebounds when he comes back. I mean, look at that. You see that every game he's played the last three. I know he's missed 3 games, but he's fully back. So against a Zubac who's going to be boxed out by Hartenstein, and then no one else is really in position to out rebound him after that point. So I kind of like that spot there. Chicago. So another thing that you have to think about with 76ers is another reason why I like Joel Embiid is he gets a lot of usage when he is in for his 24 to 27 minutes. And like it takes away a lot. And what that's going to do is and enter back in Jared McCain. So who takes a step down from Jared? Jared McCain's going to be eased back in. He's probably going to play like maybe like 12 to 14 minutes, if that. But he's going to take away from someone here. I do not think it's Maxey, but it could be Edgecombe. It could be Grimes. So I don't think it's Oubre either. So stay away from those guys because you just do not know what Jared McCain's going to come in and how many minutes they're going to take away from these guys. But the guys that are secure is going to be Maxey and Embiid. So against a very bad Chicago defense. I know that Chicago only has 1 loss, but their defense is still very bad. So a couple other spots of if you wanted to do it. Look, fantasy points already went down for Jalen Johnson. They're already listening to me. Joel Embiid went down though, so you get a point there while we've been talking. So that's it, guys. That's a couple winning spots. If you have any boosts, make sure you use those like you see here. And for summary, I like Jalen Johnson under fantasy points, Emmanuel Quickly under PRA, and Joel Embiid over fantasy points is the 3 I'm going to go with tonight. As always, here is the betlocker.com. Here's a little snippet and a little preview of what the free props section looks like on the site. And then if you obviously join, you get access to all of our locker picks, our DFS cheat sheets, and all of our prop bets and our daily picks. And you get access to our Discord. NFL, again, we went 4-1 this last weekend. So absolutely awesome. We cashed all of our NBA props, and we've just been on a heater, like I said. So you get all this plus access to our Discord, which are still having our members win, and talk sports, which is what I envisioned and loved. Obviously, no one's stranger to Discord, but I wanted my own Discord community. So that's why we started that as well. So you get all that included The dirt cheap price is $6.99 a week or $19.99 a month. Dirt cheap because I just want to win together. So that's it, guys. Lock in that ticket if you like it as much as I do, which I do a lot. And hit the like and subscribe on your way out. That does help out the channel. Buy yourself that good karma. And we will see you tomorrow for our NFL DFS strategy for Slick Show. All right, we'll see you guys.